Hey everyone, how's it going? You're watching Corky Lumpur. In today's episode of the things that I did last week, I am late and I apologize for that. It is March the 20th, 2025, and I did post the 3 things that I did last week on the YouTube community notes section. But since you're on a video platform, I don't expect anyone to be reading text. So I'm just going to go through these things that I did last week really quickly, and then we're going to dive right into some possibly interesting metrics surrounding my trading activities. So the first thing that I did last week was I made $290 trading last week. I actually was up $350 by Thursday, but I lost $77 on Friday because of over trading. I was up $28 at some point and I should have stopped there, but I didn't. The second thing that I did was this channel, right? So I made a long ass 1-hour video on the reality of the toxic employee life, which you totally should check out if you haven't already. It is well worth your time. Just listen to it like as a podcast or something. You don't actually need to watch the video. I only did one video last week, but I also started posting shorts to TikTok, which you can find at TikTok at Corky_Lumpur. Corky_Lumpur on TikTok. And that's something that I'm going to start doing on a regular basis because I honestly find it quite fun, and I'm pretty sure you would as well, because as some people have complained, the videos are way too long. I don't have that attention span. So for those people who have the attention span less than a freaking goldfish, you can go check that TikTok out. The third thing that I did last week was I actually lost another few kilograms. I was down total 4.5 kilograms, or about 10 pounds compared to 6 weeks ago as of last week. So I'm going to include some updates from this week as well, and it's going to be those same 3 things. And like I said in the video in the week before that, I'm going to start going for 3 things instead of 5 because I only have 3 priorities in my life right now. The first thing is getting real fucking good at day trading to be able to make so much fucking money and prove all these people wrong that day trading is hard and 95% of people fail at it, right? It's not as difficult as a lot of people make it out to be. The second priority in my life is really to lose weight. Like, I've been on this weight loss journey and I need to lose another 5 kilograms. That's another 12 pounds that I hope to do in the next 1 month for health and aesthetic reasons. The third priority is obviously this channel. I don't do YouTube as a full-time job. I never plan to make YouTube my full-time job. But I do find it fucking fun to make videos and rant about shit that I've been wanting to talk about. Some of those topics have been inside my head for fucking years, like the part where I revealed that I had a 0.6% match rate on dating apps when I was living in Europe, and changed that and 20x that actually by just simply moving back to Southeast Asia, where in Singapore and Malaysia, I've gotten a 8 to 12% match rate, especially when I was younger and slimmer and more in shape. That was the match rate that I was getting. So a lot of these topics have been in my head, and I've gotten sick and tired of telling these same stories to my good friends and giving them advice sometimes, because I've noticed that whenever I give advice to people that I'm close with, a lot of them never seem to take action. So it is my hope that when I make these videos with giving advice based on the experience and knowledge that I've gained from the many years of banging my head against a freaking wall, making mistakes all the time, like I wasn't born smart. I learned all of this shit that I talk about in these videos by making a shitload of mistakes, by banging my head against the wall so many times until I eventually learned not to do it. And that's what I hope that people take away from these videos, so they don't have to bang their heads against the walls themselves. They can just learn from whatever it is, mistakes that I've made, and hopefully get a running start to whatever it is that they want to accomplish, become successful in their lives. And with that, we're going to switch over to some trading performance numbers, which I think will be pretty interesting. I'm going to share some numbers from August 2024 and in September 2024, where you can see that I made a loss of $745 US in the month of August last year, and I made a loss of $470 US in the month of September. Now, I will read you some statistics to go along with those losses where I had 7 winning days in August and 14 days where I lost money. I didn't trade for 1 day, and there was a grand total of 21 days in that month where I traded. I had a day winning rate, which is the number of days where I ended making money versus the number of days where I ended making a loss, of 33% in the month of August. And that improved slightly in the month of September. I had 7 winning days versus 11 losing days. I didn't trade for 2 days, and there was a grand total of 18 days where I traded in September. The day win rate for the month of September was 39%. Now, I'm going to share with you some numbers from the past 2 months. This month, March of 2025, and February 2025. You can see here that in the month of February 2025, I only lost $85. And as of today, March 20th, the US market hasn't opened yet, so the statistics are up till yesterday, March 19th. I actually have a profit of $145 so far. So if I keep this up, I might end the month with 200 plus in profit. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx it though. And the statistics to go along with that was that I traded about 19 days in February, where 10 of those days were winning days and 9 of those days were losing days. I did not trade during February, so there were 19 days in total. And the day win rate for February was 53%, a far cry from 33% 6 months before that in August of 2024. In March, to this day so far, there have been 13 days where I've traded. 9 of those days were winning days, so about as many as February already, and only 4 losing days. The current day win rate stands at 69%. So like I said in a previous video, I've racked up a close to $4,000 loss in the year of 2024, trading mostly in NASDAQ. And I plan to change that this year by actually generating a profit, hopefully a profit that will be equivalent to what I deem a full-time employee salary, which is something like $50,000, I think is a good number to aim for. And I want to prove that it's not as difficult as a lot of people make it out to be, because a lot of people have these problems, right, associated with wanting to escape their day job, and they don't have any business ideas, they don't have any hobbies that they could monetize, so they don't know what kind of business to start. So for me, I have a lot of interests and shit like that, but I'm a cheap fuck, right? I hate putting up a lot of capital into like renting a place, doing it up, hiring employees, and blah blah blah. I've described this problem of mine in a previous video. I'm just a cheapskate, and I like to go into something and be able to see results as quickly as possible. I don't want to have to wait until like a business takes off and see if I'm actually making profit or if I'm in a loss of a huge amount, because those results only show themselves after a certain amount of time. If you were to start a software business, for example, you would have to hire those people and build something, and you wouldn't find out if that product is actually successful until you actually launch it, and even then it takes a few months. This is way too freaking long for me. I have ADHD. I need my shit right now. So that's why I got into day trading, and I advocate day trading not because I'm in it myself, but because it's like a brainless thing that anyone could pick up. It's literally like a freaking video game once you get into it, just that you don't have graphics, you have numbers. Think of it like a text-based video game like we used to play back in the 90s, That's it for today, and I hope you learned something. See you all in the next video. Goodbye.